Greetings and salutations, gamers. Welcome back. Today, we are taking a close look at the Varmilo FK2. Is this the best all-button controller for competitive fighting games in 2025? Let's find out. Full disclaimer, Varmilo did send his controller to me free of charge for the purposes of this video, but my opinions are entirely my own. First and foremost, a high quality carrying case is conveniently included at no additional cost. That is unheard of. Included in the case are the following: a USB-C to USB-A cable, a switch puller, 3 extra switches, a pry tool, a cable guard, protector, stopper thingy.
Konichi, what?
It just basically prevents the cable from coming out, so when you're, raging getting bodied, it'll make sure you don't disconnect. Lastly is the user manual. Now this is not in English, but you can use Google Translate, or you can just go to their website. In the support tab under FK2 model, there's an English manual version that you can download, or you can just go into the description down below. I got you. The FK2 comes in 5 different themes: black, sea melody, sakura, blue, and pink, with blue and pink basically being sea melody and sakura, just without the artwork. Absolutely gorgeous. The slope edges at the see, even my son getting hyped for how beautiful it is. How it slopes down on the outer edges just makes it really easy on the eye. Doesn't feel squarey or boxy. I'm really liking how all the mode buttons are conveniently in one little area up here on the top left. You get plenty of wrist space right here, which I like a lot. At approximately 12.9 by 8.8 by 1 inch and just over 3 pounds, this controller was definitely built with portability in mind. One of the most underrated feature of any controller for me is a rubber pad at the bottom. I don't understand why this is such an overlooked feature when, to me, it's a need, a must. It's also pretty cool that Varmilo gave us the option to run the cable whichever way we want, off to the left, or if you want, off to the right. I know that, the serious gamers, everything's gotta be perfect, if you want the cable off to the left or right, hey, you got that option. The FK2 case has this rectangular groove so that if you want to raise your playing position, you can just lay this on there like so, and it adds height to your playing position while it's on your lap. So if you prefer it to be a little higher, the FK2 gives you that option, and I think that's really cool. It sits nice and flush in there. I've even messed around with upside down. I guess it depends on your preference, if you want it to slope this way or the other way. It's up to you. I find myself not using it, but it's a cool option that's there. The FK2 is compatible with PC out the box, but you can use it for PlayStation and Xbox. You just need a Brooks converter or a Mayflash converter. This controller has a 14 button layout, and what makes it special is the rapid trigger feature. And what that means is you're able to set each individual button to your preferred actuation and reset point. So for example, the sound wall buttons, they actuate 0.8 millimeters into your press, where the FK2, you're able to set it from 0.1 millimeter all the way down to 1.5 millimeters. So you're essentially able to control how sensitive you want it and how responsive you want these buttons to be. And you're able to do that for each individual button, which I find really helpful, because there were times when I would accidentally graze this button right here while playing. So I set this button to be all the way down. I set it all the way to 1.5, and I don't find myself grazing it anymore and getting accidental inputs. So that's good. So the first thing you're going to want to do when you get your FK2 is go to the WebDriver, FK2, and wait for it to load up. When I got mine, it wasn't updated, so I had to go up here, download firmware update, and click this. So now what you're going to do is go into key travel settings, and this is what I was telling you guys about earlier, where you can set each individual button to actuate at the threshold that you prefer. So you can start at 0.1, very sensitive, all the way to 1.5, to where you gotta press that all the way in for it to actuate. I messed around from 0.8 because I've always been a Sanwa user, Sanwa button user for over 20 years. But for some reason I found it perfect at 0.3, and that's where they have it set to default. They knew exactly what they were doing when they made this, so I trust them at 0.3. I messed around at 0.1, like I said. I messed around at 0.8, and I messed around all the way at the bottom. And this is where I like it best. It's definitely gonna depend on the user. For me, this is the threshold that I like it to actuate at, but feel free to mess around with it and find your sweet spot. This is my first experience with that thocky sounding buttons, and I must admit, it grew on me, and I actually prefer it more than the Sanwa sound. I only play Tekken, but I have played on many different controllers, and most at price points higher than the FK2, but I have never felt this type of input responsiveness. The trigger sensitivity is just becoming natural with each day that I play on it. And the comfort over long sessions is really something that I'm not used to. I feel like I can sit down and play for hours and my hands don't hurt, and that's saying something because that's not something that I'm used to. The overall performance to the price that you get is just incredible. The Cherry MX multi-point silver switch inductive switch is, there's nothing like it that I've ever played on. I can really feel that in time my execution will get even better than it already is right now. The only knock that I could think of with the FK2 is that you're not able to play it on PlayStation 5 or the Xbox out the box, you know, but at this price point you can't really ask for that. Just buy a converter and you'll be alright. I've had the FK2 for over a month now, and it replaced my daily driver, my Victrix FS12 Pro, in 2 weeks. And it's just crazy how something that costs less can give you more value, and I think if you give it a shot you will like it too. But yeah, thank you for watching, and see you in the next one, guys.